Okay. Hello. I'm just gonna go ahead and start, and we'll see if people pop up. Um, first of all, thank you for having me here today to talk. And I see some more people hopping on. Um, so my name is Terry, and I've been a coach for about 2 years now. Oh, the first year was really not trying very hard. It was just in the last this year in 2020 when I was really starting to work on my business. So it's slow starting, but it's coming along. So that's who I am. And today I'm talking about um, doing what you can without overwhelming yourself and overdoing it. So um, I will start with my screen share. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, so do what you can without overwhelming yourself, overextending yourself. So the first thing I want to mention is that you can't pour from an empty cup, which means you have to take care of yourself first. So if you're looking at the priorities in your life, and then what are those priorities? Like the first top 5 things in your life. It could be your children, your spouse, your family, your friends, your work. But where have you put yourself in that, you know, um, list of top 5 things that are most important to you, right? Um, that's my cat. um, you need to put yourself at the very top, because if you don't put yourself at the top, you are going to lose the energy and lose the motivation, and you're just not going to be able to do all the things that you want to do if you don't put yourself first. Um, and I want to talk a little bit about my own experience when it comes to burning out. So I have a condition called fibromyalgia, where it's a chronic pain syndrome, and and in general, that means I'm really tired all the time, and my muscles are sore, and lots of pain and things like that. But I wanted to be like everybody else, and I overdid it, and I ended up burning out so bad that it took me a very long time to get back into routine, and even to this day, I'm still trying to get back onto routine. So it's really important to put yourself first, because you can't take care of other people if you're sick or if you're exhausted, and it's just going to affect everything in your life. So it's really important to simplify your routine and your habits. That will make your day-to-day life a little bit more at ease. And what that means for you could be different from another person. So you have to figure out what that means for you. It could mean, you know, taking things off your schedule. Do you really need all these things in your life? It could mean organizing your home. It could mean, you have to figure out what that means for you. Habit stacking is really important. And if you don't know what that means, it means the group of things that you're doing that just naturally kind of stack up together. For example, in the morning when you're brushing your teeth, when you wake up in the morning, you go to the bathroom, you brush your teeth, you do your hair, you get dressed, you do all these things kind of together. And that's habit stacking. And you can do that in other areas of your life too. So, for example, if you're going to the store, you can do all the other things along the way. You know what I mean? It's like coming up with what makes your life a little bit more simple. And it's really important to identify what those things are that are important in your life. The things that you need to keep. Do you really need this and this? For example, activities that your family does. Do you really need to do every last one? If it's really important to you, then yes, you should, right? But if it's just stressing everybody out, nobody likes it, maybe it's something that can go, right? And and when you're making your goals, you want to be realistic for your life, for your personality, for your home, your family. I can't tell you what that means for you. It's different for everybody. And when I'm talking about the realistic goals, I'm talking about your day-to-day goals. And you have your to-do list that had 20 things on it, you are definitely not going to get 20 things done. You have to be a little bit more realistic about what's going to work for you. What time of day doing those routines, or like when you talk about your workout, what time of day do you work out best? They always say do it first thing in the morning before your body knows what you're doing. But maybe for you, for your family, it's at the end of the day that's better. You are going to figure out what works for you, what motivates you, and what kind of setting works best for you. Sometimes for me, if I really want to focus, sometimes I'll put my dog in another room so she doesn't bother me. I make sure I'm sitting at the table, then I'm more likely to do work than if I'm sitting on the couch, right? And it just various things, you're going to figure that out. And, make your goals align with the things that are important to you and what works for you. I don't know if you've heard this phrase before, but eat the frog. This is a phrase that means do the thing that you don't want to do first, or the biggest thing of your day. Do that first. The most important thing, do it first. And it's a book by Brian Tracy, and it's a pretty good book. And if you haven't read it, you should definitely check it out. And but basically it means if somebody told you you have to eat this frog and you wait all day long, you're going to be having anxiety about it all day long. And it's going to be harder to just eat that frog, That's what it means. But if you take it and eat it right away, then it's done. You don't have to do it for the rest of the day, right? And that applies to anything in your life. If you do something in the morning when you wake up, or whatever works for you, if you try and get the big thing out of the way, something that you really don't want to do, then you don't have to do it for the rest of the day. You're done, right? It's also really important to forgive yourself if you don't get your list done. If you don't get everything on your list checked off and you don't even get around to doing some of it, or it all got messed up or whatever, you're human and that's okay. You know, um, like they say, everybody can do something, but you can't do everything. And this is also something that it's gonna help you figure out what we were talking about earlier, the goals and the routine and what works for you. And maybe this is where you're gonna have to adjust something and figure it out, you know. But it is important to give yourself some grace and not, you know, beat yourself up. And I'm saying this to you, but I'm one of those people who probably beat myself up when I don't get things done. And that is also just a human nature thing. And we just have to keep reminding ourselves we're human. We can only do so much, right? So do your best and forget the rest. And I'm sure you've heard this phrase many times. In my personal opinion and experience, what's best is different for everybody again. And I have to know that I've put as much effort, as much energy, and as much time as I could in whatever I'm doing. And, you know, and I know it's really hard to say, okay, that's it for today. I'll come back to it tomorrow. But again, we have to follow our own day. You know, we don't have the time to, you know, keep working on something way longer. If we're going to want to do it the rest of our lives, we want to be able to enjoy our lives, and we want to be able to enjoy our families and our friends and, you know, our hobbies and things like that. So we have to be forgiving to ourselves and say, okay, I've done enough for today. I've done the best I can. I'm going to forget it for now, you know, and move on with your day. And learning how to pace yourself and giving yourself breaks when you need it. It is really important to not burn out, like not overextend yourself. And also, I put here start today because sometimes you spend so much time thinking about things and wanting it to be perfect. And I'm very guilty of that. So sometimes getting started is the hardest part because you're so busy thinking about how can I make this perfect? And I haven't even started yet, but I'm already trying to make it perfect, right? And that's important to recognize that in yourself. And that was the end of that. So basically my whole point is just you figure out what works for you. You know what's best. You know how much your body can take and how much your mind can take. You know your own schedule, your own lifestyle. So it just takes some time to figure out what works for you, what works for your family. And that's about all I had really prepared. But if you have any questions, just type it in because I don't hear very well. So I'm going to get you to type any questions. No problem. I have the recording. I'll set it up tonight so that you guys can watch back if you need to. Feel free to share. And yeah, I think we all need a reminder not to overdo it. And I am very guilty of that. Like I'm always one of the people, I call myself an all nothing person, because I will either overdo it or I'm not doing it at all. And that's one of the things that I had to learn to do. So I'm really passionate about this. And I feel like people, you, you deserve to enjoy your life. You deserve to, you know, work hard, but you also deserve to just reap the benefits of it, right? Okay. If there's no any questions, I can pass it to you, Shannon, if you want.
I'm good. That was awesome. I'm sorry I was late. I was getting the kiddos to bed. But I'll definitely listen to the callback. Thank you so much for sharing, Terri. That was amazing. I know we all use those little reminders here and there. So thank you so much for sharing and taking time out of your day as well, sharing with us. I appreciate it. That's all I had. If you had anything else.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that's everything. So okay, have a great day.
All right, you too. Bye.
Bye.